Yorkers born and bred. Bernie and Sid in the morning.
Bernard McGurk and Sid Rosenberg.
Making mischief their business. 77 WABC and the WABC radio app.
Like Cortez, right here in Queens in the Bronx, in our own city, doesn't give a damn about the Jews. In fact, doesn't like the Jews. Keith Ellison, not that long ago, was number 2 in the Democrat Party. Number 2. Not that long ago, folks, right? And then we've got our own people, like Dov Hikind talked about. Chuck Schumer out of Madison High School in Brooklyn, New York. Jew, right? Where's he tonight?
Where was he tonight?
Hiding out. He's over at Representative Omar's house.
Probably so. Till Tuesday. Nice choice here on this Tuesday morning. I did mention Dov Hikind there, and I have to tell you that my friend Cindy, I think it's Cindy Gross, I forget how to pronounce her name. She's the one that actually inspired Eric Ulrich to call me to host this big GOP gala coming up at Russo's on the Bay in June. Cindy reached out to me, and I said, listen, I really want to talk to Dov Hikind before this big event. She got me Dov's number, and Dov and I spoke before, and Danielle and I met Dov when he got there. And I appreciate all the kind words about me. Thank you very much. It's very sweet. But the truth is, the man up there last night was Dov Hikind. He's a huge voice in the Jewish community, a tremendous assemblyman from the state of New York, a guy, Bernie, that you and I both really respect, admire, and love. And he wasn't good last night. He was magnificent. And here he is, Assemblyman Dov Hikind. Dov, good morning, pal. How are you?
Spectacular. Good morning. Before we go anywhere, you were amazing.
Oh.
You were extraordinary.
Yes, he was.
I don't know if you're running for office or not, but you were absolutely amazing.
On the fly, too, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You were powerful. I mean that. You were, and it was from the heart, right from the heart.
Thank you.
So I thank you for being there and for being so powerful.
It was easy, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. It was easy, though, Dov, after hearing Alan Dershowitz, and again, specifically you were so great up there. You came armed with statistics and numbers and made it very, very clear that this is nothing new for the New York Times. This dates back to pre-Holocaust, and yet, in fact, too many people in this city still read that paper.
I don't get it. It's been 14 years now. For 30 years, I had that paper delivered to my home. And 14 years ago, I said, wait a second. This is a great newspaper, but this is an enemy of the Jewish people. This is a paper that's not healthy for America. And for 14 years, I have never, not once, purchased that paper. And I pointed out last night that the New York Times has a record, a horrible record. During the Holocaust, when they were murdering 15,000 Jews a day, every single day, all year long, 15,000 men, women, and children. From 1939 to 1945, 23,000 front-page stories, 11,000 about World War II, 26 about the Holocaust.
Yes, no doubt about it. Listen,
wow, is that crazy?
They
26?
are historically anti-Israel, anti-Jewish, and you're right. One of their big-time columnists was a guy named Walter Duranty, all pro-Soviet Union. I mean, they're total communist sympathizers as well. So, they have a disgusting history, and so kudos to you, Dov Hikind, for coming out and slapping them around. Listen, I also loved what you did after the attack on the synagogue in San Diego. Representative Omar, she threw her 2 cents out there, and you told her to shut up. Mind your own business, stupid. We don't believe a word you said, in not so many words, but something like that.
Well, her heart was bleeding, with what was going on in San Diego. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, go to hell is what I can tell her. I mean, nice. It's that simple. This woman, Adolf Hitler did the same thing. Jews control America, dual loyalty, Jews hypnotize the world. All of the kind of things that have led to so much Jewish suffering, to so much murder, brutality against the Jewish people. She indulged in that once, twice, 3 times. She's apologized again and again, and she's going to continue to apologize. I mean, for her to talk about what happened in San Diego how disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, just stay in your hole, for God's sake.
Right, phony. One of the things you said last night, though, that will stick with me forever, and Alan Dershowitz feels the same way. You got up there and you said, I've always been a Democrat. And you said, but tonight, I'm an embarrassed Democrat.
It's more than that. It's much more than that. I mean, I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Florida and other places in this country trying to convince Democrats, who cannot depart the Democratic Party. I'm going to say to them, you want to be a Democrat, stay a Democrat, fine. But in 2020, you must take a vacation from the Democratic Party. You must send a message. The latest numbers have come out on anti-Semitism. I mean, 1,879 cases of anti-Semitic acts in this country in 2018. Those are the ones that are reported. 100% increase of assaults on Jews. Jews are getting beaten up in America. What is going on?
And the one thing listen, and you can be critical, Dov. You can be critical of Donald Trump all you want. I don't care. That's your prerogative, okay? Like you said, you want to stay a Democrat, stay a Democrat. But the one thing you can never call him is an anti-Semite.
Oh, for God's sake. It is the most outrageous thing. It's the game that the Democrats play. By the way, when you say Democrats, include the New York Times. The New York Times and the Democratic Party, it's one and the same. I asked last night, Schumer, Nadler, Engel, and on. Where is these are important people, right? They have important titles. Where were they? Where are they in terms of reacting to the New York Times? I mean, they love the New York Times. The New York Times serves their purpose. I mean, God, Nadler represents the largest Jewish constituency in the United States of America. He's so busy undermining the President of the United States that he didn't have any time to react to this horrible cartoon. Guys, just imagine if this cartoon had depicted Omar as a dog.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's right.
Hey, listen,
imagine.
You're right, Dov Hikind. Look, I would just say this, that the context of the cartoon was, of course, the president recognizing Israel's possession of the Golan Heights to defend themselves. So the rejection of Israel's right to defend itself the new anti-Semitism is the new anti-Zionism, and it rejects Israel's right to exist because they can't defend themselves if these people had their way. If they weren't allowed to own the Golan Heights, for example, or the Iran deal was allowed to proliferate. It's all about Israel's existence is what's happening today.
Everyone has to look at this cartoon again. And you got to not just look at it, you got to spend 30 seconds or a minute looking at this. This is so vile. The propaganda minister of Germany during the Holocaust, Goebbels, I mean, he would be proud of the work that the New York Times just did.
By the way, that's Bill de Blasio's real name. God, I'm sorry. Goebbels.
Let me ask, by the way, who's responsible at the Times? Are we going to get transparency? All the New York Times talks about the Trump administration is transparency. They want transparency. Well, are we going to get it from the New York Times?
No.
Are we going to find out who actually said it's somebody at the New York Times who gets paid by the New York Times said this is okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with this. Who was that?
Somebody
Who
did.
gave the okay?
That's a good question.
Maybe more than one, too.
Listen, I think at the end of the day, while rallies are important and your voice, which is bigger than any other in the Jewish community, is so important, though, but the reason why Don Imus was fired, the reason why Bill O'Reilly was fired was advertisers started to flock and leave. And unfortunately, until we get to the business side of the New York Times and some of their big money backers start to leave, they will continue to do things like this because they feel empowered. You got to hit them in the pocketbook.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a need. I hope that this is a little bit of a wake-up call for many, many people on many levels, and I'm going to pursue it. There's no question about it. I mean, the Times is one of the most powerful institutions in this country, and they just indulged in vile, vicious, malicious anti-Semitism, for God's sake. How is that possible? It's like
unbelievable.
It's like a bad dream, guys.
And in the highest echelons of government, the Congress and academia and now media, I mean, it's just terrible. Listen, Dov Hikind, we're out of time, but you're great. We appreciate you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. And Sid, you were amazing last night. Really, wow.
Thank you.
There you
Coming
go.
from you, that means an awful lot, Dov, because I really thought you stole the show. Either way, we do love you. That's Assemblyman Dov Hikind.